In this video, we share a couple of exercises to help with hydration. Hydration is not just about how much water you drink, it's also about how your body uses the water it has. A lot of the water in the body is held in your fascia, and this enables free sliding and gliding between the layers of the connective tissue and therefore enables movement. It also enables your body to efficiently deliver nutrients to all the cells and remove waste products, so keeping your body vital and healthy. Sometimes this can be affected. For example, if you have an inflammatory condition such as arthritis, which creates swelling, or if you have had surgery or an injury where a fascial restriction has formed. Also, as people age, their bodies become less efficient at using the water that they have. There are ways in which you can help to improve your hydration by improving your fascial health. For example, having hands-on myofascial-release treatment, but also by doing regular physical activity, for example, going for walks, or doing regular stretching and myofascial self-help exercises can also help to improve your fascial health and improve the way that the body uses the water it has. So here are a couple of exercises you can try which will help to improve your fascial health, and obviously combined with drinking water, then your fascial health can be improved.
In this exercise, we're going to do a spine roll down. This is a great exercise to do to help loosen your back and up into your neck, down into your hips. So to start, just start by tipping your head gradually forwards. As you do this, imagine the vertebrae, the bones in your spine, starting to roll down one by one. There are 33 bones in your spine, 24 of them are mobile, and sometimes they get stuck together. In your neck you have 7 bones, so just imagine that these are starting to separate, creating a little bit of space between each of the bones. And you can continue to roll down, moving into your thoracic spine. Here there are another 12 bones, and again these should move independently. They're not quite as mobile as the other vertebrae because they have the ribs attached to them, but sometimes you get a sense that they are just stuck together. And this exercise is great because it starts to create a little bit of space in between each of the vertebrae, and that creates space for the discs which sit in between the vertebrae as well. Sometimes these get a bit squashed. And moving further down your back, so as you roll down further, starting to move into your lumbar or lower back. These are the biggest vertebrae, they're weight bearing, there's 5 of them, and these are the ones that are most likely to get compressed, just with gravity and everyday life. As you're rolling down, just noticing what you feel, keeping your body nice and relaxed, and roll down as far as feels comfortable for you. Don't feel that you have to touch the floor with your hands, but if you get that far, then that's fine for you. And when you're as far as is comfortable, just hang there. Let your head hang heavy and your arms hang heavy, and let gravity start to create a stretch that you might feel in your back, or more in your neck, or even down into your hips. And you can stay here for a minute or so, just allowing time for the tissues to start to release and let go. From a fascial point of view, the longer you're here, anything over 90 seconds to 2 minutes, the more the fascia will be starting to release and let go. To come back out of this stretch, you also do this gradually, starting from the bottom of your back and rolling back up, keeping your head nice and heavy. Imagine that each of your vertebrae is stacking on top of the one below it, a bit like a stack of bricks. Coming back up through your thoracic spine, still keeping your head nice and heavy. And then all the way up into your neck, and your head is the last thing that comes back up. You can also do this exercise as a seated spine roll down. To do this, make sure that you're sitting on a comfortable chair and sit forwards on the chair with your legs apart so that you can roll your body down through between your legs. And again, just starting by tipping your head forwards, imagining those vertebrae starting to separate and roll down through your neck, down into your thoracic vertebrae. As you come down here, let your arms hang heavy between your legs and roll down gradually. Just imagining each of those vertebrae rolling independently, which creates space in between them, allowing space for your discs and decompressing around the spinal nerves. Coming further down, right down into the lumbar vertebrae. Let your head hang heavy, let your arms hang heavy, and go down as far as feels comfortable for you. And once you reach that point, just hang there, allowing gravity to create a stretch into your spine, your neck, and your hips. And as long as you're here for up to about a couple of minutes, this will allow the fascia to start to release and let go. And again, to roll back up, start from your lumbar or lower spine, imagining those vertebrae stacking back up, one on top of another, coming up through your thoracic vertebrae, keeping your head nice and heavy, all the way up into your neck, and your head comes back up last. In this exercise, I'm going to use a myofascial ball on the side of my hip. I'm going to turn around just to show you the area that I mean. So the side of your hip is here. You can feel that there's a top of the bone here which comes round to the front, and it then comes all the way round to the back. And in this area, on top of the bone, are a number of muscles and a lot of fascial tissue, and the job of these muscles is to rotate your leg as you walk and you run, and particularly rotating out but also back in. And this is the natural movement of your leg when you are walking or running. Sometimes this area gets restricted, and it means that your leg can no longer freely rotate, and that's when problems start to develop. So we're going to place the ball here on the side of the hip. So just make sure when you start that you feel the bone and you know where you're going to be placing the ball. So when you're here, make sure that you feel comfortable and you allow time for your body to relax around the ball. At first it can feel a bit uncomfortable, especially if your hip is tight. But as you relax here, you'll start to get a sensation of the tissues releasing and changing. Now when you're working here, you don't have to be precise. As long as you have the ball on the bone on the side of your hip, then you will be releasing the tissues here. You can move your body around the ball if you feel that there are other areas that you want to work on. And sometimes people find that this is easier to do if they do this exercise standing and leaning against the ball against a wall. So whatever works for you is fine. The main thing is to be here for at least a couple of minutes, as this allows time for the tissues to start to release and let go. And you may find that you feel sensations here while you're lying on the ball. And working here is particularly good for lower back pain and even for knee pain. And so now I'm going to work on the other side. Again, on this side, making sure that the ball is placed on the bone, on the side of your hip, because this will then start to release the tissues, the muscles that sit on top of the bone. So for a lot of people, if they have restrictions in the side of their hip here, it can contribute to lower back pain. And that's because if your leg is not freely rotating as you walk or you run, then the force will have to go somewhere else, and very typically it comes up into your lower back. But equally for some people it actually travels down their leg into their knee. So particularly down the outside of the leg into the outside of the knee. And again, that's because the leg is not able to freely rotate in your hip. And so by working here, you can start to help the tissues to release and restore that rotational movement in your leg, which takes the pressure off your back and it takes the pressure off your knee. Again, you can work on this side either lying on the floor or on your bed, or you can do this leaning against a wall. Whatever feels comfortable for you is fine, and as long as you're here for at least a couple of minutes, then it's allowing time for the tissues to start to release and let go.